Hey there, thanks for stopping by. Hi, my name's Glory and I'm a second year architecture student, and today I'll be sharing some time management skills that I've picked up on since I started university. So I think all of these tips really help anyone at any stage of their life, so I really hope that this video can help some of you manage your time a bit better. So the first habit I have for you is keeping a planner. So some can call it a bullet journal, but I personally feel like planner sounds less intimidating. So I've been starting to use this planner since I was in secondary school or high school, depending on how you call it, and I've just been doing it ever since. So personally, I think it's a very, very effective way of keeping track of your time, events, and important dates, meetings that are coming up so you don't accidentally miss them, especially since everyone is working remotely now, especially for those Zoom meetings online that you don't need to leave the house with. It's very easy to forget them. So the most important spreads, in my opinion, are the monthly log, where you just have an overview of all the events that are happening for the week, and equally also for the weekly logs, where you can see what's happening each day of the week, so you keep track of all the events. So I personally like to drop my own spreads in my planner because it's customizable and all the spreads are catered to for me specifically. However, it's definitely not what everyone needs to do because, not everyone has the time to do that. And it might just not be enjoyable for some people if you don't like drawing up your own things. So I used to draw really, really fancy layouts, but now I just keep them very minimal, just so it can do its job properly. But luckily for you guys, there's tons of options out there on the market, some of that are very inexpensive and cheap that you can experiment with first if you don't want to buy a fancy notebook to commit it to it immediately. So the second habit I have for you is setting mini deadlines. So one thing I think really helped me as an architecture student with tons of workload is having many deadlines in between tutorials when I need to show my tutors what I've done for the entire week in between. So I'm sure every person in school or who's working has deadlines. So this tip definitely works for most people. And I just think it's very effective to set smaller deadlines before the official large deadline where you have to hand in everything. So for example, if I have to do 3 drawings this week, I would mentally give myself around 2 days for each drawing and then use the last day I have to go through everything and add in just a bit more detail for each of them before I go to my tutorial. So I also split up my tasks to do the easier ones over the weekend because I might be spending more time with my families over the weekend. Just having a sense of what your week and days look like. Again, this is where the planner comes in handy to keep track of your events. So that really helps just to schedule around the tasks you do throughout your week rather than just doing whatever you feel like at the moment and then just having tons of work before your deadline, which can be very mentally draining. And there's also this research, I can't exactly remember the name, but it shows that the work you give takes up the amount of time you give it. If you give yourself a task to do for 1 week, it would probably take you a week to finish that task. But if you give yourself 2 weeks, it will probably take you 2 weeks because you'll end up filling in the spaces or by expanding the amount of workload. So it will just expand and fill up those 2 weeks when you could have finished it in around 1 week. So again, setting those mini deadlines, I think, really help yourself from drowning in a lot of work later down the line when it's your official deadline. So the third habit I have for you is setting a daily routine. So I know that sounds pretty basic, but I feel like once you have a daily routine set in stone for every day, knowing that what you're going to do once you wake up in the morning, and then the slot of time you give yourself to do work, and then having lunch, and then time to do your work, and then having dinner, and then time out to relax. I feel like that really helps with the workflow because you know what is the specific time you're supposed to be doing work. So when you're in that time zone, you know that this is the time to do your work. And I feel like setting up that routine just really helps with getting yourself into the zone of doing the work instead of one day being like, oh, I feel like doing work today, or the next day being like, it just passed by 11, so I might as well just procrastinate for the next hour. So I think setting a daily routine just really helps. So thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate the time you take out of your day to sit down and watch my videos. So thank you so much and hope to see you in the next video. Bye!